A haunted arcade game, lab experiments on a Hall of Famer, a player suing a ghost? These mysterious NBA stories will shock you. Stick around until the end because things are about to take a creepy turn. Drazen Petrovic, an iconic basketball prodigy, graced the court as the Mozart of basketball. Known for his unmatched shooting, some say he was the original Steph Curry. But then, tragedy struck. Petrovic was taken from us in a horrific car accident. His presence, however, seems to linger not on the court, but within a 90s arcade game. NBA Jam, released just before his untimely demise, included Petrovic as a playable character. The real chills come after the game's release. At random, NBA Jam started calling out Petrovic's name even when nobody was playing. This unexplained glitch sent a shiver down the spine of everyone who heard about it. It was almost like the game was haunted by Petrovic's ghost. If the idea of a haunted arcade game doesn't give you goosebumps, our next NBA mystery might just drop your jaw. Did you ever hear about the NBA games being manipulated in the past? Meet Tim Donaghy, an NBA referee who landed during a high-profile FBI investigation in 2007. His crime? Betting on the very NBA games he was officiating, even swaying calls to make sure his bets always landed. Not just that, he was reportedly using coded language to tip players about injuries and about other crucial info during games. Donaghy later confessed that a particular game in the 2002 NBA playoffs was completely rigged. Referees would miss calls on certain players and penalize others. The motive? To extend the series by adding another game. While Donaghy didn't reveal the exact game, his clues pointed towards the Western Conference Finals, Lakers versus Kings. He was the NBA's go-to guy for ensuring Game 6s stretched to Game 7. Talk about a major scandal. Here was a man who helped manipulate one of the most significant games in NBA history, and despite the obvious botches, he still advanced to officiate in the NBA Finals, earning a bonus of $20,000. Brace yourselves, because the next story ramps up the creepy factor. What if I told you Yao was practically engineered to become China's greatest basketball icon? China was eager to make its mark on the global basketball scene, so it devised a plan that sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. The government brought together the two tallest basketball players they could find. His mother, a striking 6'3", and his father, an imposing 6'7". The goal? To breed the ultimate basketball prodigy. Can you imagine being born into a destiny like that? From the moment he was born, Yao was wrapped up in an intense regime of special treatment and rigorous basketball training. His parents understood the incredible purpose for which he was born, to play basketball and redefine the sport for China. But the plot thickens. Scientists had Yao on a strict regimen of mysterious potions aiming to boost his height, stamina, and hand strength. Was it strange? Absolutely. But it appears their unusual methods worked. Yao became the tallest player in the Hall of Fame. The idea that Yao Ming was sort of a lab experiment for basketball greatness is both shocking and intriguing, leaving us to question, how far are we willing to go in the name of sports? Our next mystery had the potential to become a Netflix movie. The OKC Thunder were cruising at 30,000 feet in the air en route to Chicago in 2017. Suddenly a thud echoed through the cabin and the plane began to tremble. No, this wasn't the usual turbulence. Upon landing, they were met with a blood-chilling sight. The nose of their plane was completely caved in, as if something or someone had smashed into them mid-flight. Understandably rattled, the players searched for answers. Delta Airlines was compelled to launch an exhaustive investigation. After days of probing, they reached a rather perplexing conclusion. They suggested that the plane had likely encountered a bird during descent. A bird? Really? Here's the catch. A bird strike typically leaves a plane splattered with blood. But this plane? Not a single speck. Something doesn't add up, doesn't it? The truth of what happened to the Thunder that night remains shrouded in mystery. And as far as the bird theory, let's just say, unless they collided with Dumbo the elephant on a midnight flight, it's a bit hard to believe. We warned you things were about to get seriously spine-tingly, didn't we? Our next story draws us into the haunted history of the Skirvin Hotel. Imagine this. It's the 1920s, and the hotel's boss, a fella named William Skirvin, locks up a maid in a tiny room on the 10th floor. Alone and scared, she starts losing her mind till she can't take it anymore. So she jumps from her window, falling over 140 feet to her death. Now, Folks say her ghost won't leave the place, making it spooky. Like in 2010, when the Knicks couldn't sleep because of weird noises all around the hotel. Or when Taj Gibson from the Bulls saw his bathroom door slam shut on its own. Yikes. But the creepiest thing, in 2016, Meta World Peace had such a hair-raising ghost experience that he said, "The ghost was all over me. I'm taking the ghost to court for touching me in the wrong places." Think this ghostly gig is for real? Share your spooky stories in the comments below. But fingers crossed, these ghosts respect personal boundaries. Get ready for another tall, big man mystery because this one's a real head-scratcher. Meet Manute Bull, a towering giant standing at a mind-boggling 7'7". Coach Don Feely spotted him in Sudan and knew right away he had a future NBA star. But here's the twist. Nobody knew how old Manute was. No birth certificate, no documentation. Talk about a mystery dude. Coach Feely brought Bull to the US, and at Cleveland State, Coach Mackey just made up a birthday for him. Why not, right? On draft day in 1985, Manute's teammates noticed something odd. He claimed to be 35 years old, but those circles and scars on his head raised eyebrows. When asked, he revealed a mind-boggling truth. He'd slice his head with a rock every 5 years since his birth certificate got lost in the jungle. Talk about improvisation. But when his teammate counted his scars, it turned out that Manute was 55 years old. And guess what? His secret to bulking up? Heineken. Manute would guzzle them all day long. Rumor has it he never played a sober game. Now isn't that one unique way to hydrate? Bull retired at 32 and sadly passed away at 47, but his real age remains an unsolved puzzle. The enigmatic Manute Bull is forever etched in basketball legend. Talking about legends, let's dig into the mystery of Michael Jordan's early retirement. But what if I told you there's more to MJ's story than you think? The story begins in 1992. When a $57,000 check from Jordan was found in a court case involving a famous drug dealer named Slim Bueller. Jordan first called it a business loan, but later admitted it was to pay off his gambling debts. Soon after, Jordan was linked to another shady incident. This time during an investigation into the murder of infamous gambler Eddie Dow in North Carolina, the police found $108,000 in checks signed by Jordan. Jordan confessed these checks were also to settle his gambling debts, leading the NBA to launch a second investigation. This led the NBA to investigate Jordan's gambling habits. Just a few months later into the investigation, Jordan shocked everyone by retiring. People began to suspect a secret deal between Jordan and David Stern, the NBA commissioner. Many thought his sudden shift to baseball was just a cover-up for a secret suspension. When Jordan returned to basketball, there were whispers about referees being lenient on him. Rumors of a big mix of gambling, hidden deals, and friendly officiating added spice to the legend's story. Then, a twist came with the claim of a massive $1.2 million gambling debt by Jordan. The NBA, for the third time, stepped in to investigate. Yet everything halted when Jordan retired, leaving people guessing if this was all a part of a hushed deal between Jordan and the NBA. We appreciate you joining us on this thrilling journey through the mysteries of the NBA. Your support fuels our passion. Stay tuned for more captivating videos on this channel. Until next time.